Hi, my name is Jessica Baptiste, and I will be presenting on online advising, the benefits, drawbacks, and the future of online advising. So first, what is online advising? Well, we know that advising is an integral part of student success and retention as we've learned in class. And so, two is online advising. And with the advent of the World Wide Web and email, it has facilitated the availability of information in the higher education and advising setting. Advances in technology have improved the development of online advising, and now students do not need to be physically on campus to see an advisor. So technology is continuously and rapidly changing, which is necessitating changes in how higher education professionals are delivering advising. So, why is online advising interesting? Well, I think this is definitely the future of academic advising. If not, it will be a significant portion of it, considering how many students are now taking online classes and distant education. This will be something to look forward to in the future to see how online advising advances. So I find it highly interesting, and just learning more about the forms of delivery for online advising intrigues me, and learning about how students feel and how receptive they are in regards to online advising. So what's the relevance of online advising? Well, first, as technology continues to advance, it is likely that online advising will have a larger role in higher education student services, as I stated previously. Also, academic advisors must be aware of the best practices and research available to meet their students' needs. In addition to that, good academic advising must be part of the online support package. So as students are taking these distance learning classes, academic advising should be a part of that. So the key literature addresses several different components of online advising. First, best practices are really explored in depth in the research. Also, student surveys, so seeing how satisfied students are with online advising options, and campus models are explored in a lot of the key literature. One such piece of research that I found was the online advising pilot at Community College of Vermont. They had an interesting model of online advising. It spun from many models having shown that the live chat option for advising is not going to be a long-term solution. So the Community College of Vermont wanted to tackle this area and come up with a model that would be viable for their students. So the Community College of Vermont had previously offered no formal advising for online students unless they contacted an academic center on their own. So the lack of an institutional system for advising left a gap in student services, which could also impact retention as we learned. So they decided to pilot a study to determine if online advising would be desired by students. So in this particular model, the students who were registered for fall classes made a choice as to if they wanted online as their academic advising center. So for those who selected that option, they were registered into a Moodle classroom, an online classroom where there were weekly announcements to the students, responses to questions, and check-ins with students. Also, attendance was monitored throughout the fall, and returning students were offered assistance in selecting spring classes. And so after that, they determined the effectiveness of the program based on a student survey. So this is just only one model of how academic advising online is delivered, but there were many other models that I read about, including a blended learning model where it incorporated face-to-face and online advising. So this is what the key literature covers, and so this is really relevant to student affairs professionals because they know what different models are out there and what has worked based on the research. So the implications of the research is that institutions should develop formalized online advising practices to create relationships between students and advisors. Also, future research needs to examine if the course model of advising best meets students' needs. In addition to that, future research needs to determine what the best method of communication with students is for long-term advising relationships. So moving on to some of the benefits of online academic advising, there are actually many, but here are just a few. Students and faculty do not need to physically be on campus. This is a very big perk because, as we know, a lot of students are non-traditional and are taking classes outside of the campus setting. And also faculty are now teaching more distant learning courses. And so will also alleviate the faculty workload. Also, students can accumulate their work over the years and document their personal and professional growth via online portfolios, which is something that has come about with the advent of online academic advising. Then also, it's convenient for students and faculty since you don't have to go to a brick and mortar facility. And it allows for advising to be student centered. So what are the drawbacks of online advising? First, there's the need to adapt to a new model of student services. So obviously there's been a traditional way of delivering academic advising, so professionals will need to be trained and adapt to this new format. Also, from the article that I read called Trends in Online Advising by Judy Dow, she cited other challenges for online advisors, which were number one, effectively managing current technology. Then also keeping systems simple so students and advisors can understand and navigate them. Continuing to realize that technology is just a tool to support academic advising activities. Also having a contingency plan in case technology fails on a particular day. Then effectively training advisors and students to use technology and working collaboratively with other areas of the institution. So these can all be potential challenges that were noted for online academic advisors. And most of them are, surrounding just the nature of technology. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it can fail. So what do you do then? So that's definitely a drawback. Next, here is the future of online academic advising. So what will we see in the future? First, there will be greater use of course management systems in online academic advising. As with the example I shared of the Community College of Vermont, that was a course offered as an online academic advising setting, but it was a course management system that was used to deliver that. So there will also be continued emphasis on self-service with advanced user customization, which will lead to students being more independent and being able to figure those things out on their own. Also, the use of online portfolios, as we talked about earlier, that will increase. Next, the ability for students to access advisors' calendars online and make appointments. Also, more services will be integrated into smaller devices. And three-dimensional virtual worlds or other advanced software will emerge. Students will also have greater expectations of advisors, and there will be multiple channels of communication. So not just the usual email, but also social networking and other avenues. So I encourage you to look at the different references I have listed here to learn more about online academic advising, and thank you for your attention.